You're the Sunshine Secretary.
The top center.
You're the only Madam Secretary we have, and one of the few Madams in the organization.
Let you know.
Do you see your red light?
I do?
Okay, you're on.
Okay then.
We got one. Or is that something?
All right, guys, looks like we are rolling. Our archival video is active, so we can begin the meeting. I invite you to rise. Join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Gentlemen, cover, please. And I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Where's the flyover? And if I could impose on Reverend Nichols for the invocation. Please remain uncovered.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this morning. Thank you, Lord, for this gathering. Thank you for good friends. Be with us now. Guide us. Keep your hand upon us. Let us do all things, honoring and glorifying you. And we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend. He is. It's an honorific that I believe you have earned.
Kind of
Okay, referring to the agenda that you will find on each table, we have satisfied item 1, called order, pledge of allegiance, and invocation. Item 2, we would like to again thank our host, Senator Ed Howie. Are you here? Yay! This is for you, Ed. We love you, man.
And Mrs. Crosby.
And Jan, too. They host several of our most popular events every year. Of course, Ed is also the host of our annual Capistrano run, the Santa Train, and Sarducci. We thank him. The sign-in sheet. Who has the? Where's the sign-in?
Right here behind you.
But I'm not on it yet.
Okay. You haven't signed in, baby?
No, baby.
Somebody signed us in. Don't worry about it. Do we have any first-time guests today? Any first-time guests? Well, even if they're just, not even first-time, but any guests today? Yes. Please introduce your guests today.
This is my daughter Tracy and her husband Frank.
Nice to meet you guys. Welcome. Welcome.
And Rick.
And of course, Sir Perone. The Lord of Perone. Thank you guys for coming out today. We have distributed the June minutes last night. They were a little late getting out this month, and it turns out that was my mistake. The archival video was online right after the picnic last month, and I was waiting for the minutes to arrive, and anyway, my bad. We only sent them out last night, but everybody got them. I hope that if anybody had any suggestions or corrections, now is the time to make them, or the chair will entertain a motion to accept the minutes as delivered. We have a motion to accept the minutes as submitted by the secretary. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Of course there are none. Thank you very much. Okay, before we move on, there are a couple of sobering announcements. We have to recognize the final sleigh ride of a couple of Santas in the last month. First and foremost, RBS founder Santa Joe Crozier passed away on June 8th. Excuse me. As most of you guys know, Santa Joe was one of the original 10 pioneers who did the Auto Versant commercial with Tom Hartsfield back in 1994 that started the Real Bearded phenomenon. Their first gathering after that commercial shoot was a casual luncheon for all 10 of the professional actors, and they had so much fun they decided that they would repeat it the following year after the season was over. And that began a tradition which has stretched forth 21 years into the future and has spawned any number of Real Bearded Santa organizations and universities and conventions and training academies, and it all began with those 10 Santas. And unfortunately their ranks are dwindling more and more, and Santa Joe Crozier was suffering from dementia for the last few years, so he hasn't been nearly as active in the Santa world for a number of years. But of course, we recognize them, and we will miss the pioneers as they pass. We also have to recognize the final sleigh ride of Santa Ken Johnson, a Forbes member until 2012. Santa Ken was formerly a very active member. His wife Linda was vendor chair for the 2011 reunion. San Diego chapter member Ken Brissell and his veterans motorcycle escort team escorted the remains home to Santa Clarita, and there are any number of photos and videos from that entourage online on the Facebook. If you haven't friended us on Facebook, most of the videos and photos go through our Facebook site, so it's a good way to keep up with us. The Santas of the OC Bereavement Fund would like to recommend to the chapter that we send in lieu of flowers. Donations have been requested by the family, be sent to the Vietnam Veterans Monument in Redding, California at the Veterans Cemetery up there. It was one of Santa Ken's pet projects, and thanks in large part to his efforts and a few other people, it is nearing fruition when the Lord called him back. So I would entertain him. Go ahead.
I move that the bereavement fund of Lawrence County's Santas of the OC send a $50 donation to the Vietnam Veterans Fund.
Motion is recognized by the chair. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Motion carries, Mr. Secretary. Thank you all. Thank you all very much. And in addition to the donation, I would like to commend a moment of silence at this point to both of those fine Santas. God bless you, gentlemen. Thank you. Okay. Say again? Oh, I'm sorry, Richard Tate. Go ahead.
We had another Santa pass away in the past couple of weeks. Ray Miller.
Really?
He was a member, probably most of you didn't know him. And he was Santa at SeaWorld for quite a while. So he passed away. He was only in his, I think it was late 50s. Probably the research. I haven't heard about his yet. But I thought maybe something you might have.
Senator Ray's a SD chapter member? Excellent. Okay, and we'll get a card out on behalf of the fraternity. I'll check the roster. If we don't have his home address, we'll contact you guys for it.
I have it in email.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Madam Sunshine Secretary, you made a note. Thank you. Okay, we will turn the floor over to the Sunshine Secretary at this point
The whole floor?
for the Sunshine Secretary report.
For our birthdays this month, we had Robert Campbell, Cindy McGreevy, Lavada Nielsen, Charlie Padelford, Helen Redmond, Patrick Turnbull, Timothy Weaver, Tom Wellington, John Wygant, and Donald Wood. So we'd like to sing happy birthday, even though none of them are here, but I want you all to sing.
And we want them to hear it,
Do we have
folks.
to pay penalties on that?
Say that again?
Do we have to pay the penalties on that song?
No.
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Santa. Happy birthday to you.
I'd also like to say that our vice president is not here today. That's Craig Ferguson, because his wife Jeree had some sort of a heart incident this past week, and she's still recovering. So in your prayers. And Santa Peter Perron's not feeling well today. That's why he's also not here. I don't know of anybody else that's not here because they're not feeling well. But so your prayers for them. Thank you for being in the raffle today too.
I hear Peter's on a mission for the CIA, so don't get too worried about it.
Actually, this is him last week.
Okay. Also related to the Sunshine and Events, sandwiched between the Sunshine Report and the Events Report, I would like to give the floor to Senator Bob Callahan, who has an advisement for us as well.
Okay, from what I passed out here, this accounting. Right down at the bottom part is the Forbes picnic from last month. And that was not a fundraiser. We had planned to pay for a bartender at the Elks Lodge, and they let us get away without having one.
We love
And
it.
so we ended up with $100 for the good. And I would make a motion that we take this $100 and we give it to the Elks Lodge charity of their choice.
Motion has been made that we contribute the surplus of $100 from the picnic to the Elks Lodge Community Service Fund.
Second.
Do I have a second? Thank you. Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Senator Bob. Senator Bob is also our treasurer, so he will, I'm sorry, Lee, go ahead.
Before you railroad it, I'm an elk, and the Elks do a lot of really nice charitable work. And since you have such a good relationship with the Gardena, or Garden Growth guys, you ought to discuss with them what the best way to do that is, because you can, as a nonprofit fraternal organization, possibly in turn get more money back than you give.
Well, just bear in mind, I appreciate the thought, I really do. Bear in mind, however, that we're a 501c7 and not a C3, and therefore our charitable contributions are not tax deductible. By the
You
contributor.
can create a 501.
We could,
C,
right.
and
We have considered a C3, and it is still under advisement with the executive.
never
committee.
mind, erase.
No. We appreciate your input, Senator Lee.
And since we were all guests of Big Dog, Randy and Luann Barrows, why I'm going to go through them, and it'll be a check from Forbes to them, to the organization as they deem it.
It was my personal suggestion that if we could manage it in such a way that we contributed the money in their name to an Elks charity, so that the Barrows got internal credit with their fraternal brotherhood for the donation, and that would be our way of compensating them. It'd be one of the only ways that they would accept from us slight tribute to their contributions to the.
I'll give you the names of the two things you can do that with.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and we will put those in the letter that we send to Randy. Yes, my dear. And we've already sold those Angels tickets.
No,
Quakes tickets?
no, Angels tickets that we did on the 25th, we donated the toys and stuff, and gems. We haven't had.
For the vouchers.
We did that, so.
So we want to mention, is that what you're saying? Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't follow you. Okay, right. Most of you guys know that among the events that have taken place since our last meeting, we had the Angels game on the June 25th, was it? And the game that we chose to go to was their halfway to Christmas celebration. Everybody who attended got a free Angels Santa cap with a baseball on the end of it. I thought that was very cute.
That was awesome.
And unbeknownst to most of us, they were going for a Guinness certification of a new world record that night for the largest gathering of people in Santa hats. And we made it. They clocked it at over 30,000 people, which was more than enough to break the record. So we're in the Guinness World Record books, guys. We won't see our names individually, though. So. Oh yeah, and in addition, thank you. Second reminder for the same. In addition, they were collecting for the Angels. Dottie's not here. Kathy, do you remember the name of the charity that they were collecting for? Some kind of children's relief fund. The Angels Children's Relief Fund, I guess is what we'll call it. And they were collecting toys and sleepwear, pajamas and nightgowns and things like that for needy children. And so for each $10 gift, we received, or the giver received a coupon for one free ticket to a future Angels games. And the San Diego chapter and, the Inland Empire chapter and the Orange County chapter teamed up to contribute $100 worth of toys and sleepwear to the Angels charity. And in exchange, we received 10 free tickets to the games. And those 10 tickets, if I remember correctly, were being donated to Boys Club. We did settle on Boys Clubs, I believe. Boys and Girls Clubs of America, which is our designated recipient charity, officially in our chapter, in our bylaws. But anyway, so we've donated to the needy children $100 worth of gifts and sleepwear. In exchange, we received 10 free tickets for future Angels games, and then we donated those to Boys and Girls Clubs of America. So, yay us! We are first and foremost a fraternity. We are a social organization, and it is in fact these meetings that we exist to organize and encourage. But we have 3 other legs for our charity to stand on, and one of those is community service. And I have to say that this is one of the most generous groups when it comes to donating their time and their goods, their wealth, and their blood, and their sweat, and their tears to charities. There are some fine people in this organization. There are, in fact, professional Santas and Mrs. Clauses who do $20,000, $30,000 worth of business every year and donate every bit of it to charity. I'm not fortunate enough to be in that group. I have to put some of my money in the bank every year, but my hat's off to everybody who contributes everything, and special thanks to everybody who's turned in their community service reports this year. We have more than met our fraternal obligations this year, as we always do, 3 or 4-fold. So thank you guys again for helping out with the charity. And you know what? Let's give ourselves another hand, man. We did a great job, man. We did a great job this month. Woo! We did a lot of good for a lot of people. Okay, Debbie England,
Yes.
our activities chairman, would like to tell you guys, by the way, before she takes the floor, if there is anybody in this room who has not received a recent broadcast from me, and because of all of the, because of everything that's going on this week, you've probably gotten 6 of them from me. It's a lot more than we ever send out normally. We send out a lot more than we normally do.
I don't know who you just sent up the Gmail, but I hardly ever get anything.
We send them a check. Everything's fine. But anyway, if you're not getting broadcasts from us, you really should get with me before you leave today. Because more and more and more every month, we are using the broadcasts and the internet to coordinate our efforts. Less and less phone calls, even the individual emails. It's just so much easier for everybody to get together, for everybody to be notified via the broadcast. So please make sure you're on the broadcast list. If you haven't gotten an email from me in the last week, please get with me before you go, because this makes Debbie's job a lot easier. Go ahead, Debbie.
All right. I just wanted to say thank you again to Ed and Jan for hosting this today.
Yay!
I love it. We always look forward to coming here. July 26th is the Quakes game in Rancho Cucamonga. Divas singing. And the game is at 7:05.
She hasn't chosen the song yet, but
The cost is $7 and parking is $4 and it's cash. And if you want tickets or questions, no more tickets. Oh,
It's closed.
Oh, wow.
más ticket though. I picked up the tickets. I closed it early so I could get the best seats.
Gotcha. Okay, so there
They
you go.
can go. People can go, and you might be able to,
Sit somewhere else.
Sit someplace else and then move over by us if people don't show.
Gotcha.
and I need to disable the tickets on the store because they're still up for sale.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. July 27th at the Alps is a Quartermania for Make-A-Wish. It's for Wayne Renke.
Everybody remembers Santa Wayne Runke. He was the only member, he was the only Forbes Santa who was a member of 3 chapters simultaneously, and the board of directors had just given him permission to found a 4th chapter in Los Angeles, which later became the Certified Santas. So he was one of our most active Santas, and you guys know Dottie Runke is his widow. So every year the family sponsors a memorial fundraiser in his name. and the proceeds go to Wayne's favorite charity, which is always Make-A-Wish.
On the same day, in the park, there is it's Down syndrome?
Yes.
Is it Down syndrome? They're having an event there. There's gonna be about 200 to 250 kids, and any of the Santas that can come, we would totally appreciate you coming. They just really would love to see, you know, the parents, and Jack, the guy that I spoke to, said that he would love to see, you know, several Santas come and just interact with the kids and take some pictures. And so please, if you make it that day, I'd really appreciate that, and they would too.
Casual claws attire is
Yes.
sufficient. Wear your fanciest casual claws attire, but if anybody wanted to show up in full Santa regalia, there will be promo photos, publicity
I
photos
know,
going
that's
on.
me.
So who knows, you may wind up in the paper.
So we have the background, we're gonna bring the Surfer Santa background, so, you know, the kids can take pictures there, you guys all can have, you know, anybody can use it. On August 16th, we're gonna have a luau at our park. It's gonna be lunch, Hawaiian food, and karaoke. So bring your singing boys.
You're going to find out why we call her Diva.
And
Are you issuing,
You can wheel it.
Yeah, no.
it's gonna be from 12 to 5, and the cost is $8.50 a person, and I'm doing all the food, okay, so everybody don't have to worry about bringing stuff. It'll be easy and fun. September 28th is our Quartermania for the Santa Outreach Program for the kids to get gifts and what have you, so please mark your calendar for that. I'd love to see all the Santas there.
Yes.
And do we need a meeting for September as well as a Quartermania?
Oh, a chapter meeting?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Yeah, we'll have a meeting. Do we have? We don't. I don't know. We'll get together on that. The chapter officers will meet on that subject.
Santa confused.
Well, there's been some flexibility since we were supposed to host one. We were supposed to have our pool party, and then we didn't, so we've had to shuffle some of the other events around to cover that. And hers was one of them. She took our slot, so that left another slot available. We will have a meeting, but we just haven't nailed it down yet.
Okay. And
Could
then
be at the quarter meeting again.
for the Knott's 2015, I have 9 vendors so far, and still looking for some more. I'm trying to go with more homemade, handcrafted stuff. So I only have one direct sale this time, so I'm waiting till the very end to do direct sales.
Right, yeah. We'll use them as filler if we need to
Yeah,
toward the end.
exactly.
But those guys are always eager to join the fair,
Exactly,
so.
yeah.
We're putting a lot more emphasis. Debbie, as you guys may know, is the reunion vendor chairman, and she did an excellent job last year. And this year, based on the guest surveys that we received, we're focusing more intently on encouraging the vendors to bring Christmas-themed or Santa-themed merchandise, and in fact, we're focusing our early recruiting efforts on vendors that are more tailored toward the Christmas world. If we have available spots closer to the reunion, we'll allow some of the other vendors to fill those spots so that we have a good vendor fair.
And that's it.
I do want to remind anybody that attends the events at the Garden Grove Elks Lodge that we are not allowed to bring beverages in. They are required by law to prevent us from bringing beverages on site. So it has absolutely nothing to do with their welcoming of us. It has everything to do with ordinance. So they have every kind of beverage available, including water. And we have received a special dispensation from the Exalted Leader that we can bring a sealed gallon of milk in to consume with our cookies at any event. So we're going to take that and run with it.
Right.
Buy everything else you need. Buy everything else you need from the Elks Lodge. Thank you. Including the water, right. Okay, thank you, Debbie. I appreciate it. One more addendum to the, yeah, really appreciate it. This girl does an excellent job, man. I appreciate everything she does. Thank you.
Thank you.
I do want to make an addendum to her activities report. As the broadcast mentioned, immediately after the meeting today, we will, some of us, everyone's invited to join us for free trolley rides. The Laguna Beach Transit Authority operates free trolleys during the summer. We did this last year. It was a lot of fun. We had about 15 of us. In fact, we had so many that gathered at the Mission Hospital stop where the free parking is. We had so many of us that were there that we couldn't get a trolley empty enough to accommodate us all. We had to let like 4 of them go by before we could get enough of us on there that we all wanted to climb on together. We think we found a solution to that, or at least an alternative to that. The free parking is always available at Mission Hospital, a little further up PCH at 7th Street. So you can always park for free right there and get on the trolley if you want to. But Dave and I did a research this year and found out that the trolley line, the South Line, actually does a loop around Ritz-Carlton Drive and gets back on PCH and heads north again. Well, when they pull off of PCH to do that loop, they're actually looping around a public parking lot. So there is a trolley stop on either side of that parking lot. There's one on the Ritz-Carlton Loop side and there's one on the PCH side, which also happens to be Golden Lantern, or one of those. Anyway, Nigel, that's what it is. It transitions from Nigel Road to Ritz-Carlton right there at PCH. But anyway, you can park in that public lot right there. It is not free, but it is only $1 an hour, and you prepay. Prepay a few dollars, get a parking space, and walk up the stairs on the Ritz-Carlton side and get on the trolley at that stop, or you can park on the other side of the lot, on the PCH side of the lot, and cross the street and get on the trolley at the stop on PCH. Either way, it's the first stop on the route, so it should be an empty bus. Yes, and Ed?
Well, and also if you park at Gell's parking lot, walk down in front of the gas station, if by that shopping center, the trolley stops right there.
Okay,
So,
we didn't know if you could get in trouble for parking there.
Is Gelson's where the Albertsons is?
No, it's Gelson's.
Gelson's.
Crown Valley and
That's by
PCH.
the barbecue place.
Okay.
But, you know, you can park in that lot probably and walk down and not get
Okay.
too much
Okay.
trouble. The other thing for today is that down in Dana Point Yacht Club, down at the end, the America's Cup is being shown.
Really? Oh, okay.
The Stanley Cup of racing.
Right, yeah.
So if anybody was interested in that, you could go down and take a look at that in Dana Point.
Thank you for not saying the Winston Cup of racing, because that would have been instantly confusing.
Well, that's a different type of vehicle.
More wheels, I understand. Okay, yeah, thank you, Ed. As he adds on, there's plenty of parking available. Again, the free parking is at Mission Hospital, Laguna Beach, at 7th and PCH, or you can just park in the public parking lot. Either way, please join us on the trolley ride. Once the South Line, you get on the South Line, it'll take you up to the terminus in Laguna Beach itself. While you're there, you can get on either of the other 2 free trolley lines if you want to. There's the Canyon line that goes further up in toward the Pageant of the Masters, and then there's the North line that goes further up PCH. And of course, you're always free to get off anywhere along the way at any stop and visit any retailer and have yourself a good time. When you're done, you can always get back on the trolley anywhere you are, and it will always take you back to your car. And it's always free. They run from 11 to 11 every day during the summer, and it's a lot of fun. So, please join us for the trolley rides after the meeting. Okay, we've already mentioned all the other events. Is there anybody from the, Kathy, would you like to do an activity report
Yes,
for the
thank you.
Park?
Okay, I'd like to add on to our baseball event on the 26th regarding parking. For those who need handicapped, if you pull in to the parking lot entrance on the side, show your handicap placard, they will bring you in. It shows preferred parking, but they will bring you in so you don't have to cross. There are good ramps, you know, for wheelchairs, things like that, because it's just helpful, good information, you know. Please rely upon the people that work there to give you the best direction to your seat, because we're in rows 1 through 14 on this one section. And, you know, if you don't want people crawling over you, if you're in seat 14, of course you're gonna enter on one side, and then sort of seat 1. And so it's kind of nice because the Santas aren't gonna be crawling over any more than 7 people at one time, which is really good. I went back in the car on Monday. I made sure because I thought they'd give a ticket fit where we were landlocked on one side, we had 14 seats in a row, we were going to be going over, and it's not. So I'm very relieved about that. The 9th of August, we are having our meeting at Jackie Maxine Davidson's Queen Valley. And this was a superb event. Now, last year it rained, and so it kept a lot of people away. Don't let the rain stop you if it rains this year. She went to a lot of work. And, you know, we didn't even have enough money to have enough people to have a meeting. We had, what is it called, forum? We couldn't do that. So, and Peter's going to bring us ukulele, and so I am recommending that those who are ukers here or guitar players or whatever, that we gather around the fire pit, because the meeting starts at 3:30. We gather around the fire pit and sing cowboy songs.
Okay, I'm getting mixed signals here. Do you want to drive attendance, or is Peter going to play his ukulele?
I want everybody to come and sing and have a good time, and I'm sure that Maxine and Jack will really appreciate it. Your mood and your endurance. You know, you can.
Hey, being arm in arm with Diva is really good for my heart.
But you know what? With the holiday season coming up and getting your endurance built up, it's just really cool. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
And it's going to be the good years too, not the life support years. Yeah.
Exactly.
Just an expansion to what Kathy said about the Quakes game. For those of you that have not been there, or even those that have been there, the Santas come down onto the field, do a semicircle behind me while I'm singing the national
Diva's
anthem,
posse.
so you get a lot of publicity that way. Don't go up into the stands when you get in there right away. We go through when you come in the main entrance, to the right of that is the locker room where we get the pet butts. Okay, you go. For the Quakes, we go through there and go up in. If you're already up in the stands, it makes it harder for you to get down to the field. So kind of hang out down there by the locker room. You might get an autograph or something.
Get to hug Pamela.
There you go. And they're, it's way cool when their mascots come through too. So just a reminder.
Oh, I was wondering how you knew my pet nickname for Diva. Okay, thank you. And thank you, Debbie. Is there anyone with the San Diego chapter who'd like to tell us when your next meeting is? Do you know? I'm sure you do. You probably booked the event. Okay. Anyone? All right, don't worry about it. San Diego chapter has their own website also. It's Real Santa's.
First Wednesday in August.
Oh, right. It's always the first Wednesday in August, and they have weekday and morning meetings.
It's at the Sunrise Cafe.
Again, these guys have found the best restaurant in Southern California. I mean, they get, not only is the food excellent, I mean, if you like Chinese, you will love this place. If you don't like Chinese, you'll just like this place. They have a room in the back that they, let us use, and, oh man, this place is so good that Diva and I sometimes, when we're deciding where to go, we will actually have to eliminate this restaurant. And we consider it seriously every time. It's only a 90-minute drive. Let's go. Let's go. It's only 90 minutes. But anyway, it's a really good restaurant. First Wednesday, 11 a.m., San Diego chapter meets, and the Sunrise Cafe is really worth the trip down there.
Yes.
It is. And even if you don't care about the meeting, it's worth driving down there for the food. They've got a couple of dishes that you won't find at your Chinese restaurant. I know, I've tried. Okay. Moving on to the old business. We don't have much left here. I wanted to remind everyone, or to report that NorCal Santa Roman Martinez, he's a Forbes member from Boonville, California, in Northern California, was down for the annual convention of the Big Red One. Santa Roman was something of a war hero in Vietnam. He was injured like 5 times. He has extensive list of medals and stuff to his credit. And he was down visiting. Like I said, he was here for the Big Red One convention in Anaheim. And when we knew he was coming, we decided to throw together a little reception for him. It was another one of the broadcasts that we sent out to everybody, and I am pleased as punch to report that we had about 20 Santas and Mrs. Clauses show up to welcome him to Southern California. And I was so proud. I have never been prouder to be a Forbes Santa. We showed up and showed fraternal support for a Santa who deserved it. And his wife was there, and he had a friend from Northern California, and we made that guy's weekend, I promise you. So he's going to send us a thank you card, and I'll share it with you guys. Yes,
That was our first time to go to the Asian buffet. We were really impressed, so I would like to have us go back there.
all right.
That was great.
Okay, and it's a little closer than Sunrise, too.
What's that?
We could have a meeting there. Absolutely. We're considering it, actually. We've already taken it under advice. They didn't have a private room, but, you know, together we're noisier than any group of Baptists, so let's go for it.
That's not exactly right. You're
Do
going
not. Oh, for the survey.
Okay, is there any other old business? Does anyone have any old business that they would like to bring before the chapter?
Hold on. Say it again.
If not, we'll move on. I have no new business to bring before the chapter. Does anyone else have any new business to bring before the chapter at this point?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I would like to mention something about our talent show coming up in
Oh, that's
January.
the email.
Thank you.
Very far away, you know.
Rich Tate is co-chair of the talent committee. Go
Yes,
ahead.
along with Dennis.
It should have.
Dennis Skiles, yes.
Skiles. And anybody who wants to
Should have
be in the
dots
talent
in
show
already.
this year,
Just click
we'd like to
OK.
have them tell us
Okay, the problem is
before,
that the email
an hour
server.
before. Because
The email
if
server.
you have a CD or something, we've got to
Wait
make sure the
about
machine is
15
going to be
minutes
put
and
in
wait
here,
again.
we'll play it. So
Oh, yeah, that's you.
we're going to do a couple of things, Elsie and I. And of course, Rick and Eva will be doing things. And I'm sure that some that were there last year are going to do some things. But we're going to make it a lot nicer this year. We're going to hopefully have a spotlight and really put on a professional looking show with talent, with amateur bowling.
You're here.
And I think, you know, you might think about, because you don't need to have a great talent to be up there. You can get up and tell a joke if you want, you know, distasteful one if you want. But anyhow, please do that and start thinking about it.
We're looking at you, Nellie. All right. All right, guys. We've got 6 months to go till the reunion again. We are the planning committee is working behind the scenes. Lauren was the co-chair last year, and he's kind of auditing the committee for us again this year to help us out. Of course, we still have the able guidance and efforts of Bob Callahan and Cookie Runke, probably two of our most seasoned veterans in the reunion business. So the Executive Planning Committee is working behind the scenes, and between now and Labor Day, we should be getting the committee needs and resources squared away. After Labor Day, you will start getting invitations to register from us. We'll open registrations as usual on Labor Day weekend. We hope to have everything squared away by then, and we will begin calling for volunteers as the committee chairs report their needs and their requirements and their requests. We will broadcast those requests. We have this year initiated a new position, the volunteer coordinator. So volunteers will go through the volunteer coordinator, and he will distribute them as needed and advisable to the various committees. So everybody has a chance to participate. Everybody has a chance to help with the luncheon. It'll be 3 full days of fun, and on one of those 3 days, we hope that everybody in the fraternity will put their hat on and do some volunteer service for the fraternity. Help make the reunion, help push the reunion over the top of the hill this year. We've got some new things going on. We've got plans going on for this year. We are looking into a couple of possible guest speakers, keynote speakers this year. Liz Minter and her husband have coincidentally met one of the lead writers for The Big Bang Theory, and he just happens to have just written and published a book called Does Santa exist? And though neither one of us have read the book yet, she's very impressed by the gentleman personally. And of course, as you know, as you may or may not know, Elizabeth is a librarian, a member of the National Librarians Association, and as a result, she meets some interesting writers periodically, and the cosmic forces were conjoining this time, and we may have found the keynote speaker for this year, but that we're just sticking a pin in it at this time. We have no idea what his requirements might be for an honorarium. You all recall that we tried to get Tim Allen a couple of years ago, and were disappointed when we discovered that he required a $50,000 honorarium. He even offered to write the check, but he said he would need the check before the show began. And anyway, so anyway, I have no new business to bring to you guys. Is there anybody else who would like to address anything to the chapter?
Just want to mention, Bizarro had a Santa on the couch talking to the psychiatrist, and he says it all began when I was young. My mother said I didn't exist.
And who hasn't heard that from their mother?
Let's get it online.
Robbie, how often do you hear that?
We might get permission to use it on the.
I want to know something about the reunion. Are they going to still use the same cameraman?
You can go into Bizarro.
Yeah, Bizarro.
Okay, we have a question from the floor. Yes, Scott?
At the reunion, are they still going to use the same cameraman?
The photographer?
The photographer.
Well, yeah, I believe Brent Varela is, he's going to be our go-to this year. Have you discussed it with him yet at all? Okay. We didn't receive any complaints from him last year, did we? He seemed to be satisfied?
No, he was satisfied. He did a great job for us.
Yeah. We are going to add some additional photographers, volunteer photographers this year, especially for the candid shots and especially for video. Rather than have a lot of still cameras running around the campus, we're going to have a couple of people with video cameras so that we can make some promo videos next year. But as far as I know, Brent Varela is still going to be our first choice, and we're going to. I know that we would like for you to set up your Surfing Santa backdrop if you're available, or if it's available this time. And for those of you who don't know, Santa Scott creates custom photography sets. In fact, his Surfing Santa set was up last year, if I remember correctly, in the photography studio in the Sandusky Suite, not the Sandusky Suite, the Bassentry, yeah. And so if you guys saw some of the pictures that were in the yearbook this year, were in front of his Surfing Santa set. It's got 2 surfboards and a beach backdrop, and the backdrop comes out, looks like a sandy beach. It's very nice. Scott makes those, and he produces those for sale to photographers and to any Santa who might be considering setting up his own photography set this year. I've always toyed with the idea of teaming up with a high-volume Christmas tree lot and setting up a Santa photo booth on the same premises, and with a, share the crowd and you get a stipend from my earnings kind of thing. I did it for the Extreme Sports Expo a few years ago, and it turned out really well. In fact, we had a video booth as well as a photography set. Yeah, Reverend Earl.
Has the committee considered ever having a highlight video made of the whole event that we could sell to membership, like we do with the book?
3 years ago, we had, 2011, 2 years ago, in 2012, we had, oh, that was San Diego, right. What was it, so it must have been 2010. Anyway, we made it, but Rick and Vic Productions produced a commemorative video from that weekend, which we distributed for free to the planning committee, the chairs, the committee chairs, the board of directors received a free copy, and we were going to make them available with a $5 stipend to anyone who purchased the yearbook, but for various reasons that plan got wrinkled and they never went out. But I think your idea is excellent. We have the facilities to do that, and we should.
The reason I thought of it, that a church retreat we have gone to several times, they do that. And it's the highlights of all the events from this year and here. We usually a lot of lot of fun, just maybe 15 minutes, of reminders of what a great time we had.
I think it's an excellent idea, and I wouldn't even attempt to make a profit off of it. If anything, we may require a stipend payment to cover the cost of the raw materials, to the disc or whatever. But yeah, we may distribute it. That was one of the ideas we had with the Santa yearbook a couple of years ago. We may revive that idea, producing a commemorative DVD for distribution along with the Santa photo book. Yeah, that's an excellent idea. I want you to write it up and send it to us. And welcome to the the yearbook committee. Yeah, good.
Volunteer.
The previous chairman of the yearbook committee just passed the torch to you right in front of all of us. So congratulations. No, seriously, make sure Bob gets that idea, and we'll kick it around in the plan at the next. We're having a planning committee meeting. The reunion planning committee meeting will be this Tuesday from 3 to 6. Anybody in the room who is on the executive planning committee or chairs or co-chairs one of the senior committees, you are all part of the executive planning committee, and you also have received an email from me advising you of the meeting on Tuesday.
3 to 6?
3 to 6 on Tuesday. No, I take that back. 3 to 6 is somebody else.
It was 5.
I believe I said 5
Yeah.
to 6, but I'm going to have the room. I'm going to have the hangout open at 4. So anybody who hasn't hung out successfully with us before can come on and test the camera and the webcam.
What was that?
I mean, the microphone and the
For the
webcam and
committee.
things like that.
You send that little connector.
On Tuesday.
Right, exactly right. There
Yeah,
will be
he's
a
opening
link. Once
camera
I
at
open
4,
the hangout,
and
I will send the
it starts
link
at
to
5.
the entire committee, to everybody on the distribution list. The first 10 people to click that list can join us directly, live video feed. Everybody else in the whole world can watch the meeting after the first 10 have signed in. So everybody can participate, but only the first 10 who click the link will have live video feed and will be actively part of the meeting. So that's the way we'll do it from now on. And of course, everybody who's watching has the option of participating via the chat. We have ongoing chat, and that's how we communicate with each other when we're not on camera. But anyway, I have nothing else with it. Is there anything else? Anything anybody else would like to share with the chapter at this point? Okay, the only thing left on the list. Go ahead. Yes, Senator.
And I'm still trying to figure out how to pursue it. I read in the newspaper and I just checked on the internet. DreamWorks is doing some kind of Santa house ride that is like a 10-minute multi-purpose ride that bounces around and probably is a sleigh ride and will be tying in some way to Santa Claus pictures, I suspect. The gist I got was they're going to do it at malls.
So it's like one of those virtual roller coasters, like Universal?
Okay. But it's a Santa Claus thing, and I was wondering if anybody knew anything about it, because certainly, if nothing else,
we can have an excursion.
Yeah.
Someone
Find out more about it, and we'll plan a trip.
Well, there may be somebody sitting on everything, and
Right. Okay.
I've inquired through DreamWorks directly, but they haven't got back to me yet about that. But it does sound interesting.
Well,
and a lot of it is animated, from what I understand. I don't know what
it's in an article I read that it would include Santa Claus photographs at the end, so there's potential for.
Well, if they're not answering Ed, then they're not answering it. The way I understand it, it's Bill Gates, Steve Wozniak, and Ed. That's the speed dial on everybody's phone up there in Simi Valley and in Silicon Valley. So if he's not getting an answer, there ain't one to be had. But you guys will keep checking and let us know. As soon as that is available, we'd like some numbers, and maybe we can put together an excursion and send a Santa delegation to the Santa ride.
I would, if I could, I'd like to mention also the Hello Santa video chat.
Yes, please do. Please, right, yeah.
I'll just say I've been working, well, for those that don't know, Hello Santa is a video chat app that you can video chat with Santa directly, people from their iPhones, iPads, computers, and all the rest. Last year it started, we brought on 135 Santas, did thousands and thousands of video chats. Santas earned on average between $35 and $45 per hour. This year that company has been bought by Jib Jab that greeting card.
Really?
company. Yeah.
That's deep pockets there.
Yeah, yeah. So now we have a huge mailing list, a lot of resources.
Wow.
I've been working with them very, very closely over the last several months.
That just added 2 zeros to their budget, right?
Yeah, we really have a nice opportunity. So if anybody's interested in working from home, doing video chats, we're doing live chats as well as pre-recorded messages. The pay is pretty good, and it's really evolved this year. So be in touch with me about that.
Excellent. And you guys will recall that Santa Ed taught a workshop this year doing Santa business from your home using the internet. So he is something of an expert on the subject, and he would be a worthy guide into the field of online Santa presentations. So thank you for bringing that to our attention. Please keep us apprised of that, and you two let us know the next update that we have. Oh, speaking of awaiting updates, many of you guys have heard that Santa's Village in the mountains above San Bernardino are the property which was shut down in '68 or whatever it was, whenever it was. It was much. That's right. You're right. Yeah, it was later in the end. Anyway, it's been shut down now for a number of years, like 18 years or something like that. And it's been bought by a new consortium. These real estate deals are kind of under the board, so the most we can find out so far is that the company with the dominant interest in the transaction is a holding company out of Chicago. I've sent emails, I've sent communications either via Facebook or by email to everyone that I can think of is even tangentially associated with the reopening of Santa's Village. It appears to be a go, although nobody is making any public announcements about it yet. There has been a lot of activity noted on the premises at Santa's Village, ongoing inspections, and they haven't actually begun the renovation, but it's plain to the local residents and to the reporters who have gone up there. Based on that reporting, it's plain that the premises are about to be reopened or in the process of being reopened. So, looks like Santa's Village in Running Springs or Deer Springs or whatever that place is up there is going. What is it?
It's Sky Village.
Sky Village.
Sky Forest. Sky Forest. Pardon.
Sky Forest. Okay, all right. Anyway, I've written them on behalf of the fraternity and let them know that the Real Bearded Santas of Southern California would be very interested in helping them promote the reopening of Santa's Village. It is a venerable landmark in Southern California and has been a tourist attraction for, many of you guys have childhood memories, and this is what I told them. Many of our professional Santas now have childhood memories of visiting Santa there as children themselves, so many of them would be very interested in facilitating and promoting the reopening and regeneration of the Santa's Village. And I've gotten a couple of responses back, but nobody who is primary or principal in the project, so I'll keep you guys apprised of that as time goes on. Just wanted to give you guys a note that that's on the horizon as well. Yes, Lauren?
I wrecked my car there on the ice right in front of it in 1962.
I wasn't born
I
yet.
had my 9th birthday there.
You had your 9th birthday there? Really?
I did.
Excellent. That's
Oh,
great.
one more thing, I'm going to have an operation April or August 15th. I'm going to take my tonsils and uvula.
Wow. Good luck to you, my brother. Madam Secretary, we're on now. Even Santa can get a boo-boo. Rest, relaxation, and exercise are all very important, but even Santa can get a boo-boo. So, all right. Anything else? Anybody else would like to bring to the attention of the chapter? Going once, going twice. All right. The only thing remaining is the raffle. I will close the meeting before we begin to disperse the gifts. So, once again, thank you guys for attending. We'll see you guys next month. Oh, I'm sorry, Craig.
Please announce the name of the winner of the raffle this year, this time.
Okay.
Didn't last month.
Oh.
Actually, we don't need that in the
I
meeting.
usually yell it
Well,
out.
I like to put it in.
All right. Well, in that case, we'll leave the meeting open until the raffle's over. Just for you, Mr. Secretary. All right, we won't close the meeting until we've distributed the raffle prize.
Close the meeting. I just want to know the person's name, so I put it in the
Got
minutes.
it.
That's all.
All right, Madam Secretary.
I'll yell out their
Mr.
name when they win.
Secretary.
Gotcha.
All right, without further ado, thank you for attending. The meeting is closed.
Okay, so thank you for attending the participating in the raffle
Good
today.
job,
The
Rick.
first raffle we're going to do though is the people that RSVP'd with Santa Ed for today. They have a gift for that specifically.
I haven't got a ticket for
Is that
She has your
Santa-
names and everything.
We do it automatic.
They do it automatic. No sales of tickets. It's automatic.
This is what you're getting, and I'm gonna have to sell it over here.
That's cute.
She's gonna be okay. Sort of, that's a cute.
He looks familiar. I don't know.
Okay.
Jack and Mark.
Is the dates.
Yay!
Elsie, you won! Yeah! You won that.
You won Santa and a head full of paper clips.
I brought a loaf of bread.
I was gonna
Yay! Oh, I ate that.
You ate it?
I was starving.
Ate it with love.
And I ate the love last.
So we have a loaf of bread that's been donated by Kathy Perone and a few other items up here, including patches. I'll let Rick decide.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Those are gonna go in.
Real
But
quick.
First, we have to do this.
These will be prizes also. I want to let you guys know, by the way,
Here, Santa Ed. Thank you.
he's not in the room right. Well, wait till he gets back. These patches that you see right here these patches were created by Santa Bob King in Aiken, South Carolina, and he was called back home a couple of years ago, and his wife sent the remaining stock of his merchant's inventory to Bob to share with the fraternity. We still have this many of the fabric patches that he had created for the fraternity. We will be giving 2 of these away in the raffle today. And we also have, these are for the regional fraternity Forbes. We also have these patches, which were designed and executed by the gentleman re-entering the room right now, Nelson Burke. And by the way, Santinelli has been on an extended cosmic tour with his bride Ava. They visited Mars and a couple of other planets in the solar system. And no, seriously though, they've been on an extended, well-earned vacation, and we're so glad that they're back with us today. But I did want to remind that we have some newer Santas who may not be familiar with the fact that Nelson Burke was one of the 3 Santas that pulled the Forbes sleigh into existence, if you will. It was a troika of 3 men who are most responsible for the existence of the Fraternal Order of Real Bearded Santa. Nelson Burke, Bob Callahan, and a 3rd gentleman named Ron Robertson, who isn't with us today. Nelson Burke served as the president of the chapter, the president of the fraternity, and somewhere along the way found time to design chapter patches for the Santas of the OC. And they've been available on the website for some time. Santa Nelly has agreed to share them with the chapter now that he's back in town. So we will begin giving 1 of these and 2 of these away in the raffles. And they're also available for purchase too. These are $5 and these are 2 for $5. So if you guys want to buy one, you're free to do it anytime you want to. If you want to win one, get in the raffles. We're going to be giving away 2 of these today and 1 of these today. So lots of tickets are going to get prizes today.
Also today we have, and I'll let you come up and select the actual items, but these are party light candles. They last for hours. I think these votives last 4 or 6 hours. They burn flat, so you don't get the whole thing in the middle and wonder where all the other wax is going to go. These burn flat. They smell awesome.
They're not peeps.
They're what?
They're not peeps.
They're not peeps. They're not peeps. They're candles. They're candles.
But feel free to eat it if you want to.
We also have a Forbes clock, battery operated.
Oh, cute.
Okay. And we have, of course, what Miss Cindy left behind, and that's the nails. They're cool nail things because they blow dry onto your nails. That's how you get them on there. So those are the items that we're giving away. But first, we'll do the 50-50 raffle. And you know, I just don't think it's really fair that the cute chick got her cute dude didn't get to do it. So over here, my number.
You gotta know Tika's lucky.
Oh, yes. 770 897 970. Is that you, Rich Tate?
Yay!
Well, today it literally was a 50-50. You just won $50. Nice job.
Into the safe it goes.
Okay, so on the other items, the patches that he's got, the clock, the party light candles, or the fingernail items,
Or the bread.
yeah, or the bread, pardon me. Sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah, there's homemade bread up here that Kathy Jerome brought as well.
I'll
so.
just set this right here so we can put these gifts together.
Oh, good catch. Hey, that's why I'm the diva. 897-811. Woohoo! Just saying, I won. See, look, that's me. That's me, right?
About
Yeah, I
time.
thought so.
There you go, baby. I chose your prize.
No. I want
Your
the
prize
nails.
is standing right in
All
front
right,
of
she
you.
gets the nails. All right.
Old Joe's gonna win the nails, okay? Oops, the wrong one off. One. Where is it?
Now you can put everybody's back in there again.
So, I'm not pulling, so Santa Lee, since you're so lucky, I'll let you pull. Thank you. 758. Here. Yay! You get to pick which one you want, honey.
I never win.
Come on up, girl. Here. Pick my next ticket while you're on your way.
Which one?
I got it right here. Thank you. Well, you may as well pick the second gift or pass it on because it's 757.
I got that number.
Unless that's not yours.
Is it 757?
I'll get my daughter one. Okay.
I think I'm gonna take
Candles.
the bread.
Well, those are my.
You want the
patches?
patches?
Where the tickets go? Okay.
Passes.
These two?
You get 2 and 1.
Yeah, go ahead.
2 and
You
1?
get the 2 yellow ones or the one.
You want the yellow ones?
Chapter pack.
Okay. And then Tracy, what kind of candle? How many?
No, take them all.
No, you get the whole package.
Yeah, that was like the grand prize today.
We'll share.
Yeah, that was like the grand prize today.
That means
Wow.
I don't have to go buy candles.
Our next number is
I still think they're
897-784.
Now, if we win, you can do it.
784.
Yay!
Oh, I thought
San Diego in the house. All right.
Right over here is the,
I know. Right?
Put them down in the shade.
Can
in
you
the
pick?
shade.
Oh, how many's left? We have 1, 2.
We have 2 gifts
2
after
gifts
she
left. Can
selects
you
hers.
pick for me, honey? Thank you. 897-755. Yeehaw!
We already have one, so.
I know, that's cool. I like that.
I know, those are really cool. We already have one.
Now we have 1 gift left after Senator Fred picks his, so I'm gonna let him pick his real quick because he knows what he wants.
And then I will deliver the last prize.
Thank you, sir.
Kitchen or closet, my friend? Kitchen or closet?
897-825.
825.
Yeehaw!
825. Here you go.
825.
You got my brother, chapter pass.
Check his ticket. I don't believe him.
Yeah.
I believe you. Thank you all for participating today.
All right, thank you guys. We'll be going from here to the parking at Ritz-Carlton, but again, there's a lot of places to park anywhere along the line, so we'll be here for another 10 minutes or so, then we'll move on. Yes, my dear.
put this in your
Are you going to
Yeah,
with me?
What are they talking about? Hold on.
No, I don't.
Your jacket as the game.